start with a bit of team news then, Steve. How's the team looking again?
Everybody's all great. Touch wood, as long as everybody comes through this morning. But everybody who played the other night has all come through okay, and Maloney could be fit too. So, in that respect, we're okay.
What about Diamanda?
No, he's still going to be at least about another 4 weeks away. It's pretty straightforward of what they've done to his groin. So, hopefully, by the end of international week, in a couple of weeks' time, after that, we hope that he can make inroads about starting to play again.
And it'll be a fourth consecutive win if you can get a win against QPR this week, and that'd be the best home start for a number of years.
So I've just heard on the radio, and I don't like things like that, but no, it was very important that we got off to a decent start for many a reason. We know how difficult it is from a fallout from the Premier League, so it was vital that we got off to a decent start, and thankfully, our home form in particular has been particularly good. Long may that continue.
Have you been pleased with the team's performances of late?
Well, look, we've got to find the resilience what we showed the other night at Cardiff if we're going to be successful, especially away from home. Well, home form has not been a problem, so away form was the one that was concerning us all. The two performances against Charlton and Brighton in particular weren't at the level we would expect. So it was good to get a result at Cardiff, who are a good team. So hopefully that'll give everybody a little bit of confidence on what travels, and it's important that if you're going to mount a challenge, then your home form stacks up, and if we can get off to a win tomorrow, then that would be great.
Looking at QPR, then what will be their biggest threats?
Well, the centre forwards are really talent, and we all know the story of what happened here. In the last 2.5 years, he's been nothing but short of fantastic. Played for England and scored lots of goals, and if we can stop him tomorrow, then we've got to give ourselves a chance. He's an outstanding player. They've kept a hold of a few like what we have after getting relegated, and brought in some younger, fresher blood too, and they've got a decent start too, QPR. So it'll be a difficult game, but certainly Austin, if we keep him quiet, then we'll give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, there's some rumours around about Fraser Campbell as well. Is there any
No, not true at all. Nothing at all on that, and I'm very, very pleased with what we've got up front. Of course, we've got Diamande coming back, who we just paid some money for, and the emergence of Greg Lua, who's got a couple of goals in the cups, has dispelled any rumour that. I don't know where that's come from, but certainly not true.
Thanks, Steve. Going back onto Diamande, as we mentioned a minute ago, how's he settling in the area more generally?
He's okay. I mean, he's just in the throes of taking on a house, and it's been very, very difficult for him, because what we thought was just a routine groin strain, a bit like what Maloney's got, unfortunately he's turned into be something a little bit more sinister than that. So much so that we've felt as if it would be best for him to operate. Now, that's not a great start. He walked through the door, and unfortunately you need to have a minor operation. So it hasn't been a great start to him, but we've signed him for the next 3 years, not the next 3 weeks. So hopefully get him over his injury, and he's a good player to have, because he's just something that we need. He's quick and explosive and wants to run the other way, so he'll be okay.
Does it make it more difficult for a player coming from abroad, especially when they can't get straight to training?
Well, that's always not just because you can't get in the team. It's always the risk you take of any player that you're saying from abroad. Can they come and adapt? Some do, and a lot don't. And a bit like the English, when we go abroad, we're hopeless. We've got the worst track record of everybody, so we don't travel very well. So you've got to give time to adapt and get used to being around England. But he's from Norway, and there's very, very similar traits of Norway to here. For a start, it's a cold, horrible, wet winter, which will certainly help him, because it's just about to start.
Well, does him not being able to train?
Well, it's frustrating for him. You can imagine he's come and he's had a great move, and all of a sudden 3 days later, 3 days later from his medical, he's having to have a minor groin operation. But as I said, we've signed him for the next 3 years, not the next 3 weeks. So hopefully he'll get himself back in. He's in and around the training ground now. He's in and around the players. He's just doing his rehabilitation, and he'll be back on the grass hopefully in a week's time. And I'm sure everybody will like to see him.
Okay, looking ahead to tomorrow, you change your system as well on Tuesday to some success. Is it something we can expect to see again?
What, change the system again?
Or stick with it?
Yeah, I'll stick with it. Look, when you change systems, you leave yourself open for criticism. Thankfully, it went our way. If it hadn't have done, then of course the knives are out, which is understandable with where we've been and what's happened. It served us well. It served us well over the years, the 3 years since I've been here. With what we've got in the team and what we've got in the squad, it allows me to play 2 strikers. It allows me to play 3 midfield players. So the system suits us of the players we've got. But we're at home. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Okay, and finally from me, Mo Diarmi seems to be getting back to his best now. How close to that are we now?
Well, I still think there's a lot for him, a lot for Mo. And of course, when you've had a serious injury like he's had, you just got to be patient and have time. His ability, well, the pass he made for Abel's goal, his ability, and of course he took it, the first one with aplomb. So let's just hope he stays injury free and stays clear of it. He's good at the minute. I don't think I've seen many players come out after 7 months out and come walk back in and look as if he's not been away, which is testament to him and the medical staff who've got him in great nick, which is good to see.